Assalamu alaikum. Now, while we are discussing the various groups of antibacterial agents, during that we must understand a phenomena or an effect what we call as post antibiotic effect. We may abbreviate it like capital PAEI. Before going to understand this post antibiotic effect, let's recall our, our previous discussion regarding the minimum inhibitory concentration first of all, and then minimum bactericidal concentration. Now, first of all, minimum inhibitory concentration MIC. We already know that actually this is the lowest concentration that will inhibit the bacterial growth after 24-hour exposure. For example, here in this case, in this example, at tube number 2 there is no growth, so that will be the MIC of here this particular example of drug. While minimum bactericidal concentration MBC, that is that concentration which will kill 99.9% of bacteria after 24 hours of exposure of that drug. Like here in this example, the tube number 32. So by these two previous example we have already discussed, we can appreciate कि minimum inhibitory concentration is that which will just inhibit the growth. Means कि when there will be no presence of drug, bacteria will start regrowing. While in the second here, minimum bactericidal concentration, which is here at 32, is that concentration at which now 99 which is almost 100% bacteria have been killed, so no growth can be expected at all. So basically we are concerning with the minimum inhibitory concentration after which when the level of the antibacterial agents are reduced, the bacteria can regrow. Okay, so this aspect of MIC should be kept in mind, and then we will see what is post antibiotic effect. So actually post antibiotic effect is the persistence of the inhibition. Whatever inhibition have been produced of the bacterial growth by the antibacterial agent, that inhibition is persistent even when the drug levels of that particular drug has become decreased, have become below its minimum inhibitory concentration. While we have seen that minimum means which kills us, before that there was no possible inhibition of, but now we have used that drug and we have inhibited the growth, and obviously now the levels are at least above the MIC. It may be much above, but when we stop using that drug and the drug's levels start decreasing, even when they fall below minimum concentration, whatever the inhibition has been produced, inhibition of the growth of the mycobacterium, that inhibition will persist. So that is post antibiotic effect. Now there are some proposed mechanism which can produce this post antibiotic effect. Obviously number one is the persistence of the drug molecule at the site of action of that particular drug, or even within the premises, within the periplasmic space of the bacteria. For example, we have just discussed the aminoglycosides. Their site of action or their target is the 30th ribosomal subunit. So, when the aminoglycoside, their molecule persists at 30th ribosomal subunit, even when their level has been decreased below MIC, that persistence will lead to produce post-antibiotic effect. This is one of the mechanisms. Second is, after the level of antibiotic have been reduced, now the inhibition should be completely removed and regrowth of bacteria should start. That recovery of microorganism growth is slowed down due to this presence. One, presence of there. Second, regrowth is reduced. Recovery of microorganism is slowed down. Because with this inhibition, the damage to the microorganism is reversible. It will be irreversible only when the level will reach up to the level of bactericidal site. Below that, there will be only reversible damage. Third thing, new antibacterial enzymes are synthesized before the growth of the microorganism restart. This is the last one possible, but first two are more important. These were the possible proposed mechanism of post-antibiotic effect. This post-antibiotic effect is thought to be due to post-antibiotic leukocyte enhancement which occurs during its withdrawal, number one. And number two, exposure of bacteria to sub-inhibitory antibiotic concentration is still there. Most of these antibacterials, they possess this effect for much longer time in the living subjects than in the experimental subjects. For example, in the experimental subjects, this inhibition may last about 1.5 hours after the level is reduced. But in the living organism, in human being, like this time period may be even much more than this 1.4 hours. Such antibacterial, they also possess concentration dependent effect. Thus, if we use the higher doses of these drugs, for example once a day even, this effect may result in enhanced bactericidal activity and they can extend even post-antibiotic effect. On one side, they will show bactericidal activity. At the same time, whatever the bacteria have been left, they have still not been killed, only their growth have been inhibited. That particular portion of the bacteria, their post-antibiotic effect will be extended with the high single doses. Now, what we do, this actually high doses, single dose will allow us, we can observe the antibacterial effect, their effect remain for extended periods of time at the target sites, even when the concentration level has been reduced below MIC. Examples. The examples of these post-antibiotic effects against especially gram-positive cocci, a long list is there. But we can see aminoglycosides as number one. So that is why usually in books this post-antibiotic effect is discussed under the heading of aminoglycosides. Otherwise, not only aminoglycosides, there may be carbamazepines, cephalosporin, chlorphenicol, clindamycin, etc. So a long list of antibacterial agents or mycobacterial even, because rifampin is there. Not only antibacterial, it is mainly having antimycobacterial activity in tuberculosis or in leprosy. Even this can show post-antibiotic effect. This is against gram-positive cocci. But against gram-bacilli, the list is shortened. much less than the gram-positive cocci. But aminoglycoside again is standing at number 1. And obviously number 2 again carbamazepines, and the remaining chlorophenicol, quinolones, especially fluoroquinones. Rifampin again is there, tetracycline, etc. etc. So these were the example which show the post-antibiotic effect. So this was a brief outline, because the question have been asked in the previous university examination at least 2 times about the post-antibiotic effect. Okay, thank you.